I really do equate this whole thing to, Facebook 20 years ago. What is this thing? And people were still learning and figuring out, and what value does it bring to my life or my business or my career, especially on the workforce side. And I think there's still a lot of unknown things, but what AI is providing and making a lot of people excited for that I've seen is it's becoming an avenue that's eliminating barriers. And by that I mean a lot of our early adapters who are just pro AI and they're getting better and better at it is they're using it, but B, they're using it because they find the right reason. And from what I'm seeing so far, the right reason to utilize AI is for information gathering or content creation. They may not be the best writers or creators of material. So I see movement now, which is very positive in a sense of people saying I used to have to hire out, it cost me money, or I couldn't do it at all, and they avoided it because it was painful. And I see that becoming less of an issue. And there are a number of things you've got to be very careful about in terms of, if you're producing something, especially like, for example, in our world, if we're writing a grant and we're using AI to help us write the grant, and if we don't state it, and it gets determined that we got the award, but we didn't state the source correctly, we could have a problem there. There could be a liability or a default or a rescindance of the grant award. We've got in our service area, we've got language barriers, we've got access to information barriers, we've got remoteness due to the vast size of our counties and how rural areas are spread out. And we do have, it's getting better, but we do have a serious broadband deficiency in many of our rural areas where they just simply don't have access to high-speed data. They just don't have it. I also think, in all honesty, that in a lot of rural communities, there are people who are ahead of the curve, but there's many more people who are just saying, hey, I'm not sure I trust that. And so our role is, and we do a lot of work with rural communities. We're doing multiple initiatives right now to try to get SBDC services and information out to the very rural, never able to access our services kind of communities like never before. We're really doing quite a lot of that. Now is the time to invest as an employer or a workforce provider to start offering curriculum and courses and educational institutions too, to say, how do we use AI to further job security, to create higher paying, better jobs? That's what we're all in the business of trying to do. Adopt this as early as you can. Be aware. My number one rule, know enough to be dangerous about it. Even if you don't use it fully, know what's out there and know what exists, because that's going to keep you better than your competitors that don't have that knowledge.